We heard Zach Pandal refer to a big finish for Brexit, David. What could that look like? Apparently, a Parliament on Wednesday is going to try and take control again.
That's right. Another attempt, it seems, for Parliament to come sort of majority. Late last night, we had no clear conclusions. Yet again, they'd narrowed down the options to these four. Got a little bit closer, particularly on these two questions of a customs union and on perhaps even joining the staying in the single market, and even a little bit closer on this question of a second referendum. So yes, maybe the third attempt. What we've learnt with this process, isn't it, that no vote seems to be final, or the final say, apart from perhaps the one in 2016. So not only is Parliament going to have another go, but Mrs May herself potentially could try to bring that off that thrice defeated deal back for a fourth attempt, possibly tomorrow or even on Thursday. Is she going to do that? Well, we'll find out possibly after the Cabinet meeting. There's going to be this epic 5-hour meeting at the Cabinet this morning.
Everybody is now talking about, David, good morning to you, the possibility that she might actually go for this sort of almost, I suppose, riskiest of all, go for a general election. If you look at the split in the voting last night, customs union and staying in the single market, this is where there was the most limited of Tory support. Are the right-wing Tories, the ERG, are they sufficiently frightened to get behind her deal at this stage?
Well, that will be Mrs May's hope, I suppose. But, you know, in the last couple of times of voting, she's made various threats, if you like, to the more Brexit-leaning part of her party, whether it's a long extension or Brexit not happening at all. Those have been the options laid out. And still, there's that hardcore group of the Brexiteer Tories who say they're never going to vote for this thing. Even last time round, you remember Jacob Rees-Mogg, Dominic Raab, Boris Johnson all came round and said they'll hold their noses and vote for this deal, but there was still that hardcore of MPs who wouldn't. And the DUP, let's not forget about them. They are still holding the line, and they have said only in the last few days they'd actually rather stay in the EU than accept Mrs May's deal. And without those 10 votes from the DUP, it's still looking very, very difficult for her to get this deal without significant support from Labour. And why would Labour MPs rally behind Mrs May at this point when they are sniffing their ultimate prize, which is a general election, which could put Mr Corbyn into number 10?